Mikey G. Wow, all these people in the house. This thing's still not on? Still not on. Huh? It's getting there. All righty. So where are we? Oh, down here. Turn that off. Start streaming. There we go. All right. So I have an extra plug here. Extra plug. Right there. Extra plug. Gonna go right here. There we go. No, it's not plugged in, huh? Well, now that's not good. That didn't work either. All right. That being said, good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, taking you along for the ride for a simple, safe, and predictable 1% per week. Now, we're just getting started, so let's get this thing down over there. Let's pull this one up right there. This account right there, and I believe we are ready to roll. Let's do this. All right, so disallow advice. Okay, yep, nope. All right, that works. Hey, up down trader, how are you today? Who do we have in the house tonight? We have Todd, Jake, Chrissa, Danny, much love, Michael, GP, do-it-yourself guy, Terry, Monchan, good evening. Alan, David, Jeffrey, Artis, good evening. Cass, Ricky Williams, what are you selling? How are you today, Cass, Ricky Williams? Bert, good evening. Alan, what's happening, Alan? Mikey G, good evening, good evening. Who else do we have over here? Today we have Brandon, Ken, Bill, Frank, 408 Hugo, Ken David, Maragnon, okay. Good evening there, up, down. Chris, what's going on? Alrighty. Where do you live? Interesting name. Heltsu, Julius Caesar, Kevin, Top Life, Linda Burton, good evening. Hans, just me again. Mikey G, thank you there, Mikey. Urkelhorn, Mama, don't let your babies grow. Christina, yeah, I'm trying to figure out why it's not turning on, and it's just, not turning on. It's like, why isn't it turning on? I don't know. It's just not turning on. All right, we'll see. I haven't given up on it yet. Where are you? I'm right here. Where are you? Alan, good evening. Faber, what's going on? Papa. Ramon Lebra, good evening. Light Guy, hello, I just joined. I was wondering if you can tell me what you do is happening, perhaps. Also, what's your name? Well, good evening. Who is this? Light Guy? All right, Light Guy, my name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, where we invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow using a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, the companies that I like, let me just give you a quick little rundown where we are, where we're going, and what's going on. All right, number one, wait a second, nope, that wasn't it, 2008. Let's take a story all the way back to 2008. My nine-year-old daughter says to me, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? Faber, okay. Can you teach me? My 9-year-old wants to learn how to invest in the stock market. All right, so the challenge, it's got to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. Now, I'm ready to learn up. All right, let's go. So for my 9-year-old, it had to be 5 rules. Rule 1, never buy something you don't want to hold on to long term. Pretty much understand what it is, who they are, what they do, and is it a good company to buy. That's rule one. Never buy something you don't want to hold on to for the long term. Rule number two, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the whole game. We're trying to make money. What the heck is that? All right, nope, I don't want that. Not now. All right. Never buy something you don't want to hold on to. Never sell at a loss. Make sure the company is consistently profitable. Weekly options only. And number 5 is make sure all the numbers work. All righty, let's see what we got over here. Zoom, here we go. Let's get the Zoom up and rolling. Alex is in the house. What's happening there, Mr. Alex? Okay, come on. Why isn't it working today? Okay, cancel that. Back home. More. Join. Okay. Alrighty. Let's try it one more time. If we try, there we go. And there it is. And start. And there we go. There it is. All right. So the Zoom is up and running. All righty. So Alex wants to take a look at Kohl's and try to figure out what the heck happened with Kohl's today. Gonna need my glasses for this one. You ready, Alex? Let's take a gander at this. Okay, got my pen. All right, anytime I look at a chart, there's 5 things I want to see. Number 1, where is the high? That was today. Number 2, where is the bottom? Here it is back in April. Number 3, where was it a year ago? Right about there. Number 4, where is it right now, today? Right there. And number 5, let's just do a quick tracing of the outline. Okay? Down, up. That's it. Okay, down, up. That's it. Okay, down, up, whatever, however you want to look at it. Now, this thing jumped nicely today. Ain't going to do us any good because we already did our covered calls on Monday. So, yeah, I have Kohl's. Yes, I did a covered call on Kohl's. I did a covered call at the 16, 17 area. This baby goes and jumps up there. Do I get all that? No, I don't. It's not what I'm looking for. Now, granted, somebody got all that. It wasn't me. Okay, I buy the stock and I sell it for the same price I paid for it. Oh, we got visitors over here. Who do we have over here? Joanna, good evening. Phase Max, what's going on? Brady, good evening. Carrie, good evening. And Anita McCullough, don't care. Cool beans. Dono, good evening. You're amazing. Great job. Thank you. Carrie, good evening. Alrighty. So that's where we are. I'm wondering if I should roll my Kohl's to next week or should I let them expire? If the market maker is going to give you more money, enough to make it worthwhile to hold to next week, why not roll it? Now, if the market maker doesn't offer you enough, just let it go. Now, you got to figure out what's right for you. Rolling it, yeah, you can pick up some more money, okay, but letting it go and picking something else up next week is always another option. But you got to remember, today's only Tuesday. More than likely, there's going to be some type of a pullback on this tomorrow. Nothing on Thursday, Friday. We got no idea what's going to happen. But we'll just keep playing it out one day at a time. That's about basically all we can do. Carrie, I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Tough Guy wants to take a look at Disney. DIS. Okay, so thank you there, Tough Guy. Allie, I expect Bitcoin to go down to 3,000 within a year. Okay, thank you. Alex, I appreciate your insights. I was panicking all morning. I don't want to leave money on the table. I can understand that. All right, so let's keep checking this out. Clip Chaser, are premiums pricer lower because of the holidays? No, not necessarily so. Market Maker makes that up. Today's Tuesday, which means tomorrow is going to be Wednesday. Okay, tough guy. Sit tight for a second. We're going to take a look at Disney right now. Okay, here we go. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down. So it's going down right now. I don't know why you want to hold on to it. I mean, it's eventually going to find a new bottom, but when? When and where is it going to be? Here's your last 30 days. Here's your high. Here's your low. Is, look at this. Up, down. Okay, yesterday is the bottom. Right there. Today is just a little tiny bit higher than yesterday for Disney, if you like Disney. Okay, now I can't tell you whether or not to sell Disney because I know absolutely nothing about your situation. So I can't help you out with that one. What's my take on PSEC? Okay. PSEC. Prospect Capital. No. Okay, my opinion on Prospect Capital, PSEC. Okay, December, January, February, May, January. These are months of the year, also known as a monthly optionable stock. I don't do monthlies. Remember I said rule number 4, weekly options only. Okay. Ezekiel, how are you today? Oh my God. Okay. So tough guy. Mutual fund. I don't do mutual funds. If you take a look at a mutual fund, you will notice that the mutual fund director puts all that money into certain stocks. So why don't you just pick a good mutual fund and invest into it yourself and do a certain strategy to get a safer and better rate of return than any mutual fund is going to give you. Joey, what's going on? All right, what else do we have? What's my opinion of WULF? TerraWolf. Okay. Now, I have no idea what this company is. I have no idea what they do. Okay, I've never seen, I mean, I looked at them a couple of times, but I never looked at them with the intention of buying them. I'm only looking at them because someone else is asking me to take a look at them. Hey, Rusty, how are you today? Very nice of you, Rusty. Thank you. All right, so that being said, okay, here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at it. She drops, shoots back up, drops, pulls back after a little bit of profit taking, and goes back up again. We're at $13.94. Well, the 14s are going for 50 cents a share. Well, not quite 4%, but well over 3%. Mark Stuckey. Greetings, James. Last week, bought General Motors, sold 71 strike, November 28 for 75, a 1% GM close 72. I looked to roll, but only offered less than 1%. Okay. Hi, any trades today? Aggie, how are you today? Kerry, are you a nice guy? Oh, thank you there, Kerry. Rusty, I don't know what to tell you, but Kerry, thank you kindly. What are we looking at? So I look to roll out to 72 or for break even. Then I make a first dollar per share when I eventually sell. Okay, Mark, it sounds interesting. Way to go. All right, so here's Wolf. I have no idea really who they are or what they do. Here's our last 30 days. Okay, here's the high, here's the low. Okay, she shoots up, pulls back, back up, back down, back up again. Here's 1 day, 2 days to the upside right off the bottom. 30-day top, 30-day bottom. Now she's moving back up again. If, of course, you like WULF, Wolf. Need some weekly dividends. Way to go. Okay, Jerry Gill wants to know my opinion of NVDA. NVIDIA. I could tell you to run and panic, but most people aren't going to listen to me anyway. Okay, up down trader. I did Hewlett Packard, assuming Dell today, and Harley Davidson. Hey, up down trader, nicely done. What do I think of Pony? Sit tight. Jerry wants to take a look at, oh, wait a second. Let's take a look at Wolf, okay? Because she's bouncing up, looking at that 14. Well, let's take a look at the 14 in case you like it. Now, I'm not saying anything about the stock because I'm not a real fan. I have no idea who they are, what they do. Someone wanted to take a look at it, so let's take a look. What do the numbers look like? Does it look like a good investment? Do I like Wolf? Buy one covered call of Wolf, 28 November. That's this coming Friday. The $14 call option. Well, the stock at the moment is at $13.95. So if I buy it tomorrow at $13.95, I sell it to someone else using a covered call at 14. Well, I pick up 57 bucks. It's going to cost me 1,300. What's my rate of return? That's what we're looking for. Okay, we put our money into something to get a return on our investment. Well, this one here, a covered call on Wolf at 14, what are we looking at? I believe ETH will flip Bitcoin. All right, Ali, thank you for that. Sit tight. Haven't fixed that yet. So, calculator tells me all right. Go with the calculator load. There we go. 57 is the profit. We're going to divide that by the investment because when you divide the investment by the rate of, to find out the rate of return on an investment, you take the profit, which is right here, max profit, 57, and you divide it by the investment. Well, the investment, cost of trade, including commissions and fees, 1,343. So just a simple math is going to tell you what rate of return for the week. It's just 1 week. That's what I'm doing, 1 week at a time. Because I like getting cash flow on a weekly basis. So every stock that I do is going to be a dividend stock because a dividend stock, they share their profits. Better yet, how about a dividend stock with a weekly option attached to it? Okay, so here, it's a 4.2% for 1 week, if, of course, you like Wolf, which I have no idea who they are. Here we go. Well, this is the first one for the night. Let's see what we come up with. All right, let's do this. Here it is right there. And there she is. Wolf. By one covered call, Wolf. 28 November, that's this coming Friday. The $14 call option. Okay, the profit is 57. The investment's 1,300. Okay, for 1 week, it's 4.2%. Well, 4.2% is not bad for 1 week, if you think about it. All right, so let's get rid of this. $4.2. There we go, 4.2. Gotta love it. All right. USA Farm Style Life wants to take a look at Dell. I like Dell. All right, so let's put Dell into here, see what it looks like. D-E-L-L. Dell, as in delicious. Ooh, check that out. What's going on right there? There's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down, up. What's going on? 125.92. The one. Okay, after hours, it's 131. 131 is going for 310. Hell yeah. That's over 2% if you like Dell, which of course I do. Why not? I did Hewlett Packard, Kohl's. Okay, up, down, we looked at that already. Autocorrect, yep. I need to read before I send. Yep, probably Dell, great. Baxter. Joey wants to take a look at Baxter. Give me a second there, Joey. We'll get there. All right, look at your last 30 days. Check this out. 30 days ago, there's the top, 170, and we dropped down to 115. That's a $60 drop. $60 drop on a $170 stock. That's almost 30%. That's a lot. Okay, so we drop. Here's the bottom. We turn around. What happened today? It looks like the bottom was last week. Now she's turning around, but no, today messed up the whole thing. Sorry. Tim Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Okay, so is that Haria Gill wants to take a look at NVIDIA. Why? Why the hell do you want to look at that stupid thing? NVDA. All right, Haria Gill. Here we go. You ready? NVIDIA Corporation, NVDA. Okay, $177.82. Look at how much volume traded today. 319 million. 319 million shares traded today. That's a lot. All right, so what I want to look at is historical data. And I want to come and I want to check out the dividends only. Dividends only. Now I want to check out all the dividends. The maximum amount is what I want to see. Now, what kind of dividends does NVIDIA have? 1 penny. Okay, now, I don't know about you guys, but I am not paying $185 a share. Thank you there, Carrie. I'm not paying $185 a share for a 1 penny dividend. For me, that just makes no sense. But has given 17 dividends in the last 4 quarters. Oh, BAX, 17 cents. Okay. You're talking about Baxter. You're not talking about NVIDIA. We're talking about NVIDIA right now. Look at this. 0.04. 0.04%. What the hell kind of a number is that? That's not even a whole number. All right, so needless to say, Javier Gill, I don't like NVIDIA. The numbers are absolutely horrible. A 1 penny dividend? Yeah, no. Hold on. Let's check out something else. Okay, you ready for this? Javier Gill? I don't know how to pronounce that. All right. Jaria Gill, okay. Revenue per share. Here we go. Revenue per share. That's how much money coming in. $7.67 per share. Diluted earnings per share. $3.93. $3.93. Okay. Book value. $4.89. Debt ratio, 8.8%. Total debt, 10 billion. Total cash, 60 billion. Okay, interesting. But look at the rate of return. Okay? The annual dividend rate, 0.04. 0.04. Do you get that? 0.04. That's not even 1%. It's not even a 0.5%. Actually, it's like 4/100ths. 4/100ths of a. I don't even what the hell people thinking putting. No. Ali, can you make me famous if my 60 grand ETH took a place? Hey, I have no idea, dude. Alrighty. I don't do cryptocurrency, so I'm just going to ignore all that. Tim, all right. SB 1981 LRCX. What the heck is LRCX? LRCX. Lamb Resh Corporation. Well, I never heard of Lamb Research. All right. Here we go. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Sideways down. Up, down, up. So she is going up. Here's the top right there. Coming down. Now she's retracing 152. The 152s are going for 196. So that actually works. If you like LRCX, which I have no idea. Fufu. Yes, I did see Coles today. Peter, L-A-B-U. We'll have to take a look at that in a minute. All righty. Oh, Lisa. Hold on a second. You like that one, Peter? All right. Lisa, G-I-L-D. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's finish taking a look at this. Last 30 days for Lamb. Okay. She shoots up, pulls back. Now she's up again. 1, 2, 3. There's your 3 days to the upside right there. 151.93, the 152.50s right there. Let's do it. Let's see what this one looks like. Let's change this up to covered call. The 152.50s. One contract right there. Just today, and here we go. Buy one covered call, LRCX. 28 November, that's this coming Friday, 152.5. The stock is currently at 153.44. So yeah, it's not that far off. 210 is the profit, 15,000 is the investment. What kind of rate of return does that look like? Tough guy, have 100 grand to invest. Any ideas? I got a bunch of them. All right, calculator, here we go. 210 divided by $15,040. Grand total of 1.39%. Well, I like 1.39. Okay, 1.39 is not bad. Now, my goal is 1% per week. So 1.39, well, that's more than 50% per year. Okay, so what do we got? 1.4. All right, here it is. There she is, right there. All righty. Buy one, covered call, LRCX, 28 November, the 152.5 call option. Okay, 210 is the profit, 15 is the investment. Now, anytime you make any investments whatsoever, you have to put some money up front. It's called consideration, good faith, skin in the game, however you want to look at it. So here, well, I like the numbers. Hate when that thing keeps stopping. All right, let's keep on keeping on. All right, let's find out. Let's do it. All right, there it is right there. Got the first one for tonight. No, nope. Not the first one for tonight. Okay, and this one was 1.4. 1.4. All right. Next, what do we have next? All right. We need dividend when stock goes 100x. Up, down, I think recently cut divvies. Okay. Their ex-dividend date is the 28th coming up, and it shows 1 cent. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Oh, hell no. Not for 1 penny. Before the last 4 dividends, a 17 cent, they had the last 8 dividends at 29. Okay. When do you ODT start? Yeah, that's the last day, which is Friday. They really look like they're going downhill in the last 3 years overall. Okay, there's no specific date yet for single company ODT, but it's got to be coming soon, I hope, because I can't wait. I'm going to love those. Well, alrighty then. So that's LRCX, if you like that company, of course. Now, Lisa expressed an interest. Hold on, Miss Lisa. We're going to get that in a second. Hold on. GILD. Okay, Miss Lisa, GILD. Gilead Sciences. I'm going to say no. Only reason I'm saying no, Miss Lisa, is because I don't buy at the high of the year. Okay? GILD is at the high of the year right now. Now, it may be a great stock, but where's the opportunity? I don't want to buy it at the high and wait for it to go higher someplace it's never been before. Pete, I did a cash secured put at 11, got assigned on the 21st, now have to add covered call for the 13 strike expiring on the 28th. Oh, Peter, believe it or not, that made perfect sense. Good evening, James. Glad to be back. Who is that? Hey, M. Jamil, how are you doing? Okay. Up, down, trader, you're going to do a triple Q, a lot 0 ODT. Well, you have fun with that. Have 100 grand to invest. Any ideas? I have a whole bunch of ideas, tough guy. But thank you for that. Thoughts on LABU? Who's that? Peter. LABU. LABU. Hell no. Sorry. Now, don't get me wrong. It may be great, but I don't want to, it's at the high of the year. High of the year is the time to sell, not a time to buy. But that's just my humble opinion. What the hell do I know? James, when I mentioned single company 0 ODT, they're coming soon, like SpyQ, for companies where you can trade 0 day to expirations on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep, I get that. I just don't do it because a little too nerve-wracking for me. I'm not really into day trading. I'm more of a weekly trader. Jump in on Monday, make my trades in. I'm very relaxed. Okay, I'm not uptight. ODT, that's 0 days to expiration. Yeah, it's a little bit much for me. But, you have at it. You have fun with that one. Just like weeklies are better than monthlies, dailies are better than weeklies, it seems to me. All right, I might have to take a look at them. All right. James mentioned to wait till it drops. It's too early in the week to call it. Thanks, Alex. Fufu. Maybe I'll sell a cash secured put. There you go. Got it every week. They're pretty good too. Yep. Most likely they will be profit taking soon, more than likely. That's what I'm waiting for to sell the puts. They will be worth more than, absolutely. Nice thinking there, dude. All right, so let's keep on going. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Yo, in the house. Cole really popped today. Yes, it did, Hercules. I saw that one this morning. Mike in love. Good evening, good evening. Eric, good day to you too. Chufan, good evening. Quick question. Go ahead, shoot. Okay, I'll watch on TikTok. Christina X. La 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 la. Where did we stop? All right. Wow. All right, hold on. It's not. I'm not ignoring your question. I'm just trying to get to the right place. All right. Taco Ida, thank you for that. SB 1981. Hello. Lumina, can you please review Ford? Ford, here we go. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, 1317. The 1350s are going for 2. Oh, hell no. Hell no. That's not going to work. Okay, what about next week? The 13s for next week, still not enough. Okay, the 1350s, it's only going for 9. No, not enough money. Sorry. Sorry, Lumina. Lumina. All right. What do we have next? Brian Thorpe. Okay. S. Brian Thorpe. Good evening. M for 3 beats. Okay. 81. How you doing? Permaclean. Good evening. Tufan. Good evening. James, can you answer my question? You got to tell me what your question is. Yep. Rich Bruner. How are you today? All righty. Justin, how are you? User 3671287015773. Good evening. Uber, huh? Uber hasn't been around for 20 years yet. Why are we looking at Uber? UBER. And does Uber even know? Hell no. Does Uber even have any dividends? UBER. Let's check it out. All right. Historical data, we're just going to check and see how many dividends has Uber paid out. Because what we're looking for, a company that's consistently profitable. You're interested in learning? I'm here. Bitcoin thoughts? I don't do Bitcoin, sorry. Dividends only. All the dividends. And is that what I'm looking at right there? Okay, user, whoever. There are no dividends in the selected time period. So if we are a dividend investing channel, hence the name, Dividend Stock Talk, Uber has no dividends, so why are we looking at it? Interesting question. Recently traded Uber. Well, good for you. Can you review NYSE EAT? Why are we looking at that one? Okay, EAT. Okay, we're going to review it. Are you ready? December, January, February, April, May, July. Yeah, those are months of the year. I don't do monthlies. Who came up with this one? Damien. Damien Depson. How you doing, Damien? So, Damien, don't get me wrong, this is a nice movement here. It went from 100 to 150. That's a 50% increase right there. From a couple of weeks ago to today, that's a 50% increase. Of course, there's going to be profit taken. Alex, yeah, I agreed. CSP may be, wait, what I do next week, the wheel. Okay, the wheel sounds like a good trading strategy at that point. Jesse, let's take a look at AbbVie. No, I mean, looking at Uber recently, trading history, my friend, I do not buy or see, only make predictions sincerely. All right. I'm not 100% sure you're making predictions. Okay, what are you predicting for it? I mean, it's already gone up 50% right here. She already jumped up 50%. What's your prediction next? My prediction would be profit taking. Anytime a stock goes from 100 to 155 or 154, that's a 50% increase. Of course, it's going to be profit taking. Buy or sell. No, I definitely wouldn't be buying that one. Fufu, Hormel, HRL. HRL, Hormel. Ooh, interesting. Check that out. Here's your top last year. Here's where we are a couple of weeks ago. She went up, she dropped, she went sideways, dropped. Here's the bottom. Now she's bouncing up. We're at $22.98, which means the 23 is going for 10 cents a share. Yeah, no. Think about it. If I'm buying it at $22.98, well, I want to sell it at 23. Well, this week it's not going to work because this week it's only giving you 10 cents a share, which is not even 0.5%, depending on how you look at it. Don't get me wrong, I like Hormel. They've been in business for over 100 years. Get 5 decades of increased profits. Unfortunately, the number just doesn't look good for this week. Sorry, it is what it is. BC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Walmart, WMT. I'm going to say no to Wally World, only because, let's do this right here. Here's 30 days ago. Okay, 30 days ago we were right here. We drop down, retrace, drop down, find the 30-day bottom there, shoot up to the 30-day bottom. Now we're right here. It's like $1 between the high and where we are right now. Really not that much space for movement. So sorry, Walmart's just not enough space there. When do you sell your weekly credit spreads? So Ronnie, I don't do weekly credit spreads anymore because it's too many times they bit me in the backside, if you know what I mean. Okay. Michael from GTA. How are you doing today, Michael from GTA? Mike Sweeney. We got 1% and managed to secure Kohl's at 2% this week. Cool. Okay. XPEV. Are you going to let Kohl's go if you can't get your 1%? Of course. I got my 1% last week and the week before and the week before. All right. So Harriet Gill. Haria? I don't know. XPEV. Let's find out. XPEV. Does that mean like you're an ex-pervert? Ex-pervert? No, that's not what that means. All right. Well, here we go. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, sideways, up, down, up. 2162. The 22s are going for 26. Well, that looks pretty good. Well, let's find out. Now, I have no idea what this company does. All righty. So let's do the 22s here. Just, see what it looks like. Okay, one contract. Okay, at the market, there we go. And here is what it looks like. By one covered call, XPEV. I have no idea who they are, no idea what they do. Okay, the 28 November, which is this coming Friday, the $22 call option. Well, the stock's at $21.35. So 22 is pretty close to it. All right, so 96 is the profit. The investment is 2,100. I can tell just by those numbers that's going to be pretty good. Okay, so 94.50 divided by 2106 comes to a grand total of 4.4%. So let's save that one, 4.4%. Why not? Okay, let's do this. And here she is right there. Here we go. By one covered call, XPEV, 28 November. The $22 call option. Here's the profit, 94. Here's the investment, 21. It's a 4.4% return for 1 week. Now, I'm looking for 1% a week. This is offering me 4% for this week. No, there you go. 4.4. That's 3 so far. We need a couple more. Let's get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. And let's get back to the beginning. We already looked at Walmart. Or I looked at Walmart. Andrea, how are you today? DISVE. What is DISV? DISV. Dimensional ETF. Hell no. Who came up with that one? E? Yeah. December, January, March. Yeah, I don't do monthlies. No. Nope. 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 Too fine. Good evening to you too. They are like Mara and Riot. Thank you there, Andrea. Let's take a look at Mara. Oh, another move today. Here we go. Here's Mara. 30 days ago, we got the top. Last Friday with the bottom. Monday's higher. Today, it is going up. We're at 11. The 11's going for 40. Well, let's take a look at that one. And no, Mara does not have any dividends. It just so happens to pop up once in a while. All right, so the 11.50s. Let's do this. Here we go. By one covered call, Mara, 28.25. That's this coming Friday. The 11.50 call option. Well, the stock right now is going for 11.26. The closest strike price to 11.26 is the 11.50. Okay, the profit's going to be $45. The investment's only going to be $1,100. Well, what's that rate of return? All righty, we take that $45 and we divide it by the 11.05. Comes to a grand total of 4%. Well, why the hell not 4%? 4% sounds like a lovely number. All right, let's hold tight. Hold tight for a minute. There it is. There we go, right there. 4%. All right, and there it is right there. There she is. Yeah, baby. Okay. Mara, 28 November. The 11.50 call option. Here's the profit. Here's the investment. It's a 4% trade for 1 week. If you like the company. That's the way it's always going to come down to. No matter how much sense it makes, no matter how good or how wonderful it looks, It's a final decision, comes to you. Either it makes sense to you or it doesn't. Do you like the company or not? Let's get the chair, get some of these questions out of the way. Let's get comfy cozy. Comfy cozy. Can we do more than one option? Yeah, you can, Alan. How are you doing today? Broken Rabbit. What happened to your old account? I still have my old account. Who's that? Vlad, how are you today? All right, USA Farm Style. We already looked at Dell, BC123. We already looked at Wally World. Okay, Vlad, still have the old account. It's still in the exact same spot. What do you think of structured notes with upside participation rates on the S&P index? Rabbit, no idea what you're talking about. Sorry. I got an Iron Man touchscreen. All right, Handle. Why is this mirrored? XYZ, good evening to you. If you're about to position like the whole blah, blah, blah. Okay, got that one. Okay, so Kent, I made a prediction to buy CMG today at about 125. What do you think? CMG, isn't that Chipotle? Just curious. CMG. All righty. CMG. At what price? Okay. I couldn't tell you. Okay, here's your last 30 days. Okay, here's the bottom. Now she's shooting up. We figured that one out a couple of days ago. All righty. What else do we have over here? Alex, thoughts on Merit. We did that one already. Okay. Foo-foo. If you mean selling more than one call, yes, you can, as long as you have enough shares. Never mind, Mara's about Riot. Okay. Which stock is that, Mara? Good thinking of trying this. Good thinking of trying this. Alan, how are you doing, Alan? Okay, SB, Texas Instruments. Let's take a look. TXN, Texas Instruments. Interesting. K-Van. There's only 1.5 days left this week. Market close on Thursday, 1 p.m. on Friday. Thanks, K-Van. Saved 85. When you do find a trade, how close to the money are you trading? At the money. Okay, saved 85. Right at the money is where I'm trading. Okay, so we're looking at Texas Instruments. We seem to be bouncing off of a bottom at the moment. Well, let's take a look. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where we are now. Look at the momentum. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. She is. She's going back up again. We're at 160, 177. The 162s are going for 113. Not enough money for me. I want 1%. Okay, the 162s are going for 113. That's not 1%. HI wants to take a look at Riot. RIOT, Riot. Ooh, nice. That looks good too. All right. Who came up with this one? Hi, HI. I also made a prediction on Hood yesterday. Okay, good for you. Before the market, your evaluation is competent. Wait a minute. I also make a prediction on Hood yesterday, a few minutes before the market opened. Your evaluation of this component, sir. Please, sincerely, Kent. All right. C Money, hey man, can you explain to me what stock warrants are and what the details for IMSR warrants are? Comey, all right, C Money, wrong place, dude. Definitely not looking for those. Sorry, I do covered calls on dividend stocks to produce a 1% consistent, predictable return on a weekly basis. So I don't do stock warrants. Sorry, that's a total different subject. All right, so here's the high, here's the low, here's where we were, here's where we are. Look at this, down, up, down. Now we're going up. 1450 is going for 35, which is more than 2.5%. And it's Riot. It's one of those companies that we trade every once in a while. So our last 30 days, right here. Okay, here's our 30-day high, 30-day bottom. 2 days to the upside. See that right there? Perfect opportunity if you like Riot and you're okay with buying it. Lemonade. Will Kohl's hit 25? Don't know. Saved 85. When you get time, show me again how you're doing the math for 1%. All right. What do you think of entering a trade on TSLL if you don't already have one? Okay, hold on, Fufu. We're going to do that one. So apparently, Saved 85 is having an issue with the math. 1450. All right. Saved 85. Are you ready? Sit tight, relax, watch what we're doing. Okay. The current price is 1439. Okay, the bid 1457, the ask 1460. So we're going to do the closest strike price to this number. That's going to be the 1450, and that is going for, well, don't know yet. Let's change it. We want to go to covered calls. There it is, the 1450 right there. And we want to do just one. There it is, and one right there. And here's Johnny. By one covered call of Riot. 28 November, that's this coming Friday, the $14.50 call option. Max profit, $29.50. Cost of trade, including commissions and fees, $14.21. Well, let's find out what the rate of return is. Let's get out of there. Okay, profit, $29.50. Divided by the investment, 1421. Are you paying attention? Here, saved 85. Okay, I'm going to hit the equals button, equals 2%. 2% for 1 week. So here's the thing, all right? Now, I invest on a weekly basis. I like to buy on Monday, and I like to be out on Friday. Now, I only look at my account Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I don't do a lot of trading on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's kind of like, just taking the dog for a walk. Just take it for a walk, come back in, nothing special happens. Great. Well, this is a 2% trade, and if 1% per week is 50% per year, well, 2% a week, well, that's definitely got to be 100% a year. Well, I don't mind doubling my money every year. Now, I don't, but it's nice if I could. I do average about 1.4% for me, on average. There she is. There it is. Whoops. Okay, Riot. 28 November. The 1450 call option. 29.50 is the profit. 14.21 is the investment. What is the rate of return? 2%. I like 2%. All right. I hate it when it does that. Hate it when it does that. All right. 2%. Alrighty. Uh-oh. What is that? All right, going to sit down again. Ooh. All right. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Got a question. Walmart. We did that. Too fun. Did that one either. Lonnie wants to take a look at Pfizer. Okay, who fun? Quick question. John Velusek, Altria. Take a look at that in a second. Altria, M-O. Interesting. Let's take a look, John, shall we? Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Look at this. Down, up, sideways, up, down, 58.34. More than likely we'll do the 59s, and they're paying 7 cents. This is the part where we say no, thank you, John, because that right there is not enough for me to want to buy that and hold on to it for a week. Sorry, John. Jason, do you buy, hold on. Do you buy options and hope they go up? No, I don't buy options. Subliminal. It's a YouTube thing on this channel. He can't flip it. Yep, thank you. We can't read anything that you read. Sorry, Subliminal Desire. If you knew a way to flip the camera on YouTube, let me know. I have your DoorDash. Please come to the door. That's funny. If I invest, no options for me. Check company, look for financial statement, chart, its competition, add future U.S. economic before position for a swing trade, sincerely. What do I think about Tesla? Tesla has no dividends, so we're going to skip that one. When you get time, show me again how you're doing the math on the 1%. I think we did that already. When do you find a trade? How close to the money? Right at the money. Okay, Fufu, what do you think? What do you think of entering a trade on TSLL if you don't already have one? Well, let's take a look. TSLL. Interesting. Okay, who came up with this one? Fufu, you ready? Here we go. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was a year ago. Here's where it is now. Take a look. Up, down, sideways, up, down, up. Okay, fine. 1764. We'll be looking at the 18s. The 18s are going for 34 to 36. That's almost 2%. If you like TSLL. Well, let's take a look. Take a look at that. Okay, here's your bottom. Now she's going up. Okay, top is there, comes down. Now she's going up. There's no way around it. It's going up if you like TSLL. And it's always going to come to that. Okay, the chart may look great. The numbers may look great. You may be all wonderful, high, and all happy about it, but do you like the company? Is this someplace you want to put your money? It's that simple. You either like the company or you don't. And if you do, there you go. Kent, that is funny, the way you said, sir, on Tesla. You make me laughing. Thank you, sir, for your personality. Sincerely, Kent. Okay, now, Kent, the reason why I don't do Tesla is Tesla doesn't have dividends, which means they don't share their profits. And when they're not sharing their profits, well, how do we know when the stock is going to move? Because let me show you something. I show this every single time. We're going to come back to Tesla in a minute. Okay, right here is November 2025. This is a calendar, okay? All these little green dots, you see them all these little green dots all over the place? They represent companies. Let me read off a few. Bull Realty, Fast Turnal, IBM, Granger, Target, ExxonMobil, 3M, Emerson Electric, Smuckers, Nextera. Oh, I got to do this. Okay, what else do we got? Pepsi, Dover, Aflac, Consolidated Edison, Target, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Stanley Black & Decker. Most of these companies you probably heard of. Now, why am I showing it to you on a calendar? Because these green dots represent what is called the EX dividend date. There's 4 dates to remember when it comes to buying a dividend stock. Date number 1 is the announcement date, right here, the very first one. Basically announcing how much money they made, when you're going to get yours, how much you're going to get, blah, 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 all wonderful roses, rainbows, puppies, and blah, blah, whatever. It's the announcement date. Date number 2 is the most important date. That is called the EX dividend date. Hence the name of the EX dividend calendar. It tells you exactly when a stock is getting ready to pay its dividend. Why is that important? Because just before stock pays the dividend, the stock has a tendency to go up in value. Not guaranteed, but it is a tendency to go up just before the EX date, which is represented by these little green dots. So if I see a little green dot right here for Pepsi on the 5th of December, well, I'm going to want to buy it 2 weeks before on a Monday, which would be the 17th. Because I want to give it some time to move. I collect my premium right there, collect another one right there, maybe a third one right there, and the dividend. 2 weeks before the EX date. Date number 3, it's called the date of record. Whoever owns the stock on the date of record is entitled to the dividend. Who gave me that? Oh, I just missed who it was. Date number 4, that is called the payment date. That's when you actually get your money. Okay? Hello, where can I watch you other than Facebook? Well, there's 2 channels on TikTok, 3 channels on YouTube, 1 channel on LinkedIn, 1 channel on, what is that one right there? X, 1 channel on Zoom, 1 channel on Rumble, 1 channel on, there's 9 channels altogether. All right, let's keep on going. All right, what do I think about that one? We did that one already. We did that one. Okay, so foo-foo. Let's get back to where we were talking about Tesla, TSLL. Okay, so TSLL 30 days ago, here's the 30-day high, 30-day bottom. She shoots up, pulls back, and now she's slowly going up again. 18 is the one we're looking at, the $34, just shy of 2%. So let's take a look at it. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. Go to covered calls. Go to the 18 right there. Just 1 contract. 1. And there we go. And here it is. You ready? Buy 1 covered call of TSLL. 28 November 25. That's this coming Friday. Remember, I do weekly options once a week. The $18 call option, well, the stock is currently at $17.87. That's the current price. So the closest strike price, well, yeah, it's going to be the 18. And it's going to be paying me $50 per contract. Now, I know that's not a lot of money, $50 per contract, but the contract's only $1,700. Well, what kind of rate of return is that? Calculator, $50 is the profit. The investment is $1,750. Comes to a grand total of 2.8% for 1 week. Let's find out. $2.8. There she is. TSLL, 28 November. That's this coming Friday. The $18 call option. $50 the profit. 1,700's the investment. 2.8% for 1 week. If 1% a week is 50% a year, 2% a week is over 100% a year. Well, 2.85, well, that's got to be at least 110, at least. And of course, that's if you like the company. Because you just might not like it. Hate it when it does that. But you know, it does it often. All right, 2.8%. $2.8%. Well, that's not bad if you think about it. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We found 6. We got 6 for Sunday. No, wait a minute. 7 for Sunday. 8. 8 for Monday. 5 for Tuesday. 6 for Tuesday. Nice. All right, let's check out some more questions. What else do we have? Randall Ray, holy cow. I've made 1.5 to 3% every week on Delta for over the last 3 months. Randall Ray, that is awesome. Terry, we already looked at Dell. Sorry. Alex, how are you today? All right. Kent, entries, trade, action equals ETA. Okay, sincerely, gotta love it. How do you spot ETA? Well, be analyst and a little luck helps. Okay. All right, well, let's keep it on. Uh-oh, SB 1981 wants to take a look at Macy's. Didn't we look at Macy's already today? Or was that earlier today? I don't remember. Macy's. Let's check out Macy's. Why not? Okay, hell no. Macy's is at the high of the year. Yeah, no thank you. I have no idea how to get to the morning meetings. Could not do it this morning. Please help. Truth Seeker, how are you today? Okay, so Truth Seeker, whatever email address you signed up with, that's where the Zoom link is going to be sent to you. Okay, and if you're a paid member, well, you get a Zoom link twice a day. Once for the morning show and once for the late night show. So hypothetically speaking, if you can't join it live, you can always, I tried. Okay, you can always take a look at the recordings and see what happened during the day. You can always tell your boss, say, hey, boss man, 9:30, I need a little bit of time. You know, take your coffee break at 9:30. Kent, I checked a few days ago. It was 19 on Macy's. Yeah, that was a few days ago. Now it's at 21.85. When you roll your call, do you roll up and out or just out? Fufu always going to depend on exactly what the numbers look like for the moment. Okay, are they good numbers? Are just rolling it out, or do I have to move it up and out, or do I roll it down and out? It's always different. Subliminal desire, IRM. What is IRM? I remember seeing that one once or twice. Iron Mountain. Okay, well, here we go. Iron Mountain. Let's check it out. All righty. High of the year, 125. We dropped down to 70. 125 to 70. That's over 50 bucks. That's a big drop. Up, down, up, down. Here we are right here, 85.66. The 86s are going from 40 cents to 85 cents, not 1%. Unfortunately, we're going to say no to Iron Mountain for this week. MSTX. Mr. Gross. MSTX. What is that? MST Corporation. Okay. All right. Let's try it one more time. MSTX. Defiance Daily. This thing's dropping like a rock. Why do we want to look at it? Look at that. 30 days ago, drop, 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 drop. You get a triple bottom right here. Okay? Friday, Monday, and today. 3 bottoms right there. 5 1/4. The 5 is going for 35. Yeah, no, thank you. The 550 is going for 15. Maybe. But look at the 6. 0, 0, 0. Yeah, I'm going to say no because the premiums are horrible. What do I know? What do I know? Gary Plum, UVV. All righty. All righty, what else do we have? Kent, wow, Kohl's went up 43% today. The company forecasts today a return future performance with an earnings report, I think sincerely. All righty then. All right, Randall Ray looks pretty good. Put your radar, GRLT. GRLT. Primor Holdings. Hell no. What stocks do you like for weeklies? 0. Sorry, Chad. Nick, Google. Hell no on Google. Google is at the high of the year, number 1. I don't do the high of the year. Number 2, it only has 2 years of dividends. Sorry. Shill 99, JFIN. JFIN. Okay, JN Group. No, I don't do monthlies. You see that? January, April, July. Yeah, no, thank you. Crypto of Focus, Applied Materials, AMAT. No, high of the year. How do you not see that? The high of the year right there. I don't do the high of the year. It just doesn't make any sense. Ryan wants to take a look at Tootsie Roll. Really? Tootsie Roll? Come on, Ryan. I don't do monthlies. December, January, March, June. Yeah, no thank you. Hey, James, did you see Kohl's today? Absolutely. Looked pretty darn good. All righty. TRMD. What is that? TRMD. Torm PLC Class A. No. Who came up with that one? Ryan? Again, Ryan. December, January. Yeah, no, I don't do monthlies. They just don't work. Just don't work. No offense. Big Air AI. BAI. All right, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told them. I don't do monthlies. Kent, yay, I remember Google. First div for investors on CNBC. I like Google. Okay, Kent, not me. Google only has 2 years of dividends. Not quite what I'm looking for. Crypto Focus. Can you do Applied Materials? Is that one okay or no? Okay, Crypto Focus, we just did it 2 seconds ago. All righty. Street Money. Thank you there, sir. Thank you there, Street Money. In your opinion, why do quarterlies work better? So Michael Corey, I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that question, because I don't know. What do you mean? In your opinion, why do, I'm going to assume that means quarterlies work better. Okay, are you talking about quarterly dividends as opposed to monthly dividends or annual dividends or biannual dividends? I'm not quite sure what you mean by quarterly. As compared to monthlies. Okay. Now I'm assuming monthlies, quarterlies. Are we talking the dividend? Or are we talking the option? Russell wants to take a look at QCOM. QCOM. Unfortunately, QCOM's dropping at the moment, Michael. Dropping, sorry. Kent, BAA locates in Columbia, Maryland, headquarters. Sincerely, Kent. All right, thank you there, Kent. All right, TSYY. Okay, hold on. Oh, I missed some. Ethan, thank you there, Ethan. Wolf, we looked at that one. Tuck, I've been doing Dollar General weeklies since March 4th. Since March, you end up 42%. Tuck, nice going, dude. Dollar General, let's take a gander. From when? All the way to March? March, dude, that's all the way back here. Wow. Nicely done, dude. All right, so high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, 104.30. So the 104 is going for 121. That's going for 104.93. So we'll be looking at the 105s, and that's going for 77. Okay, so maybe wait till tomorrow because these numbers will all change. Hopefully change into something better, because 77 cents on 105 is not 1%. All right. Lonnie, PH. Is that Parker Hannafin? Parker Hannafin, yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, Lonnie, okay, I don't do monthlies. December, January, February, May, August, November. Yeah, no, I don't. Okay. Also, I don't do stocks over $300. That's $852. Congera Jean. Dino. DINO. HF Sinclair Corp. Monthly. Okay, so again, December, January, March, May. I don't do monthlies. The numbers don't work. I like weekly options only. Russell, Boeing, huh? BA. All righty. Kent, QCOM, 20% in China business, I think, sincerely. Okay, thank you. DRI. Michael, gotcha. Weekly options. Thank you there, Michael. Kent wants to take a look at DRI. We'll take a look at DRI as soon as we are done with Boeing. All right. So here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. 182.44. Okay, the 182.50 is going for 165, not quite 1%. So we might have to put it off until next week, 5 December. Well, what does the 5 December look like at the 182.50? 350. Okay, well, let's take a look at that one. Boeing. That looks pretty good. Here's your bottom right here. Now she's turning around going up. Not today, because I want 2 days to the upside. Okay, and we do have them because Friday was the bottom. Monday, yesterday, higher. Today, higher. That's 2 days. All right, great. 182.50 for next week. 182.50. There it is right there. One contract at the market, and here it goes. Here we go right here. Buy one covered call Boeing. 5 December. That's not this Friday. That's next Friday. The 182.50 call option, bringing me 242, and it's costing me 18,000. All right, well, let's check out those numbers. 242 divide 18,000 and $8. Okay. Well, that's just wrong. 242 divided by 18,008, grand total of 1.3. 1.3%. Well, why not, right? What's wrong with 1.3? It's Boeing. And here she is right there. Boeing, 5 December. That's not this Friday. It's next Friday. It's 2 weeks away. The 182.50. 242 is the profit. 18,000 is the investment. It comes to 1.3% for 1 week if you like this company. I'll figure it out sooner or later. Come on. Come on. What did I say? 1.3. 1.3%. There we go. What did we find tonight? We found Wolf, LRCX, XPEV, Mara, Riot, TSL, and Boeing. Well, not a whole heck of a lot of those are on my personal list. It is what it is, I suppose. All right, let's take a look at some questions. How are we doing tonight? Beast with me, how are you doing? Updatable. How did you do with Coles? I did fine. Did great. Obviously, I'll be getting called out of those by Friday, and they don't come back down, which is just fine. Didn't very well. Okay. Did very well. Okay. Duke Energy. Ooh, haven't done Duke Energy in a while. Why is that? Why is it we haven't done Duke Energy in a while? All right, let's check it out. DUK. That's why I don't do monthlies. No. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you, sweet Den. Why the covered calls and not calls? Okay, Russell, I want simple, safe, predictable, consistent. Okay? A call, 80% of all options expire worthless. I have no desire whatsoever trying to pick up the pennies. At my point, Russell, at my point in life, simple, safe, predictable is what I'm looking for. The only thing that I know that is predictable and safe enough is the covered call. That's about it. Lonnie, Pfizer, PFE, Pfizer. Interesting. Top Bottom, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 25.72. The 25.50s are going for 33. 26s are going for 10. That's not going to work because we're losing 23 right off the top. You take 23 off of that, I'm walking away with 13. Sorry, numbers just not working here. Now, next week, 25.50s are going for 53. Well, that might work. All right. Last 15 minutes, let's just do some questions. All right. No more stocks, questions. So you buy 100 shares and then sell a covered call at the strike price. Cindy, how are you today? Cindy Richards, good evening, good evening. Calibri, good evening to you, sir. Nice to see you again. So, Corey, Duke Energy, yeah, no monthlies, sorry. Russell, good evening. Miami Printing, thank you for sharing. You're welcome. D. King, Dow, Lonnie, Pfizer. Sold puts on OKTA today. Any thoughts? Joshua, why would you do that? OKTA. Okay, let's find out. OKTA. Okay. Joshua. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, and now she's going up again. So when you say you sold you sold puts, is that right? You sold puts. Okay. Which one? Which one did you sell? Me personally, I would have done like the, I don't know, the 83, the 82, the 84. Ooh, the 84 looks good. Because 84 is right there. And she is bouncing off this bottom right there. Okay, check that out. 30-day high, 30-day bottom. Now she's bouncing out. That's like a perfect opportunity right there. 30-day top, 30-day bottom, 2 days to the upside, 81.16. The 81s are going for 119, 111 this week. And next week, going for 495. Well, hell yeah, I do the 81s for next week for 495. That's a nice number. Let's check that one out. Okay, let's get out of there. Let's go there. Next week's 81s right there. All right, one contract at the market. There we go. And here it is. All right, by one covered call OKTA December 5, not this Friday, next Friday. Okay. The $81 call option, $491, $7,600. What's the rate of return? Rate of return, 491 divided by 7,609 and 6.4%. If you like that company, of course. It's my last one. I said that before, didn't I? 6.4. That's nice. All right, let's do this. 6.4. Where is it? There it is. OKTA 5 December. That's next Friday. The 81 call option. 491.50, 7,600 is the investment. That's a 6.4% rate of return for 1 week if you like this company. Actually, it's a week and a half. This week, what's left of this week, and next week. Okay, so 6.4. Nice. That's it for the night. Let's take the rest of the questions and we be done. Me too. I've been doing it for 2 tiers, but not as thorough as here. Too many at wrong time. Sorry about that, dude. I wish I learned this strategy 20 years ago. Yeah, me too. Very nice. Good job. Let's go. Oh, bloody righty then. Now feeling good and being more strategic of entry. Nicely doing. Yeah, like get in, get out in the same week. Yep, I'm going to agree with you there too. Alrighty, 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 alrighty. Thank you and enjoy your turkey. All right, Michael. There we go. All right, so Greg, TSYY, of course you need to own the stock to sell the call. Absolutely, Chaz. How you doing today? TSYY. What is TSYY? I'm assuming that's another take on Tesla. Okay, let's find out. TSYY. Granite Shares Yield Trust Tesla 2X ETF. Who came up with that one? Greg. All right, so terribly sorry, Greg. I don't do monthly options. December, January, February, May. Yeah. No, thank you. Sorry, no. Kenny Chang, what's going on? Beast Within. Wild Baggins, yield marks, hell no. Alex, Cindy. Each contract is 100 shares. You need to buy 100 shares to do a covered call, absolutely. For me, I'm coming over from long-term, David, and holding stocks that I reinvested. As long as I get a good company, I feel like I could ride the premium out week after week, even if it's not as high. Okay. And keep putting covered calls on out of the money enough to collect a little premium, but not have it assigned for under what I bought it for, and possibly collecting the dividends along the way. Holy shit, it sounds exactly what I said. Sounds familiar. Happy Thanksgiving all, and have a great night. Yay! All right. But Beast Within, I like what that said, you know. Ooh, Sarah Finn, Rigetti Spaghetti, RGTI, RGTI. I call it Rigetti Spaghetti. Okay. Now, I have a little bit of an issue. K-Van, is MOS turning into a monthly? I believe it is, K-Van. MOS. I said a MOS, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. Yeah. Okay, definitely looks like it's going from a weekly to a monthly list. 28 November, which is this week. Next one should be 5 December, but no, 19 December. So it's going from a weekly to a monthly. So we'll no longer be doing Mosaic. Sorry. Sorry. Thanks, Beast Within. Boo. I know, I don't like Rigetti Spaghetti either. All right, let's keep on going. What else do we got? Right. Can you explain QQQ, please? Why? Harrigill, why do we want to look at the Qs? There are no. You need to get out of Mosaic. Could you do the last week of the month option? Would that work? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Cindy, thank you. Just wondering if he skipped the cash secured put and just bought the shares. Okay, but what would the point be, Cindy? See, I heard what you said, Cindy. I understood what you said. Instead of doing a cash secured put, why not just buy the shares? Well, a cash secured put allows you to buy the shares at a little bit less money, unless you really want them now. Yeah, typically for this strategy, you don't do a cash secured put. I'm going to agree with Alex. Do I do one-on-one classes? Absolutely. DM me with your number. I'll give you a buzz. We'll chat. All right. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Lucas, how are you doing? AMD. Okay. Well, AMD looks like she's dropping. Here's your top. Here's your top. Here's your bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down. What's going on here? Not quite that attractive at the moment, Lucas. Okay, here's the top, 265. Now she's dropping. We're at 195. Okay, where's the bottom? Hasn't shown up yet. Right. You only do the cash secured put if you want to run the wheel. Not 100% correct. Okay, beast with me. That's not 100% correct. Sometimes cash secured puts just work, and then you don't even need to take the stock. Just collect the money. Matthew, Ryan, XRP is not a dividend stock. Sorry. QCOM, Russell, I believe we did QCOM first thing this evening. I think it was the first one we did. And it was a no. Russell, the reason why it came up as a no, okay, she shoots up, she pulls back. Here's a new bottom here, 2 days to the upside, Friday and Monday. But today kind of spoiled it because now she's coming down, still coming down. We thought it was going to change today, but it didn't. Sorry. King of Claps, Mickey D's, MCD. Okay. Here's your top. Here's your bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay, 310. Well, the 310s are going for 179. Hell no. The 310 here going for 288. No, not 1%. No for this week. No for next week. Sorry, King of Claps. Johnson & Johnson did it last night, no good. Yep, not even close. Pick a premium up on the way down, and the stock you will want immediately put a covered call on it. Thank Beast Within. Okay, Jack Hill. Harkill. Okay, wants to take a look at the Qs. Why the hell do you want to take a look at the Qs? Q, enter. All right. Hargill, you ready? Okay, here we go. Invesco, Q. You ready? $608. Dividends only. This is just to see how this thing has increased over the last 20 years. Come on. All right, I want to look at all of them because apparently, how many do they have? 1999. All right, so I'm going to go back to 2005 because in 2005, that's 20 years ago. So let's check out all the dividends. Now, hypothetically speaking, we want these to all go higher and higher. So let's go all the way back right here. 3 cents, 10 cents, 2.9, that's lower. All right, let's do it this way. All right. All right, you ready? 1.4. Higher, lower. Higher, lower. Lower, lower. Higher, lower. Higher, lower. higher. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it went down 6 times and it went up 5 times. That makes no sense. All right, let's do it again. 2007. Okay, so 33, 34, higher, lower, higher, higher, lower, lower, higher, lower, higher, higher, higher. Okay, 4, okay, 6, 7. All right. Let's do it this way. All right. 11, 10, lower. 7, lower. 12, higher. 10, lower. 16, higher. Lower. Higher. 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 Lower. Higher. 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 Lower. Higher. Lower. Higher. Lower. Higher. 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 It goes up and it goes down. Why am I looking at something goes up, down, up, down, up, down? I want consistently higher. Why don't I do monthlies? Because the numbers just don't work. Plain and simple. What do I mean? We sell options. Exactly. We talk about stocks and if they are good to buy, and then we put a covered calls on them against the premiums, making a minimum of 1% per week. Beast within, gotta love it. Do I roll your calls? Sometimes I do. Okay, all right. So we're past 11 o'clock. I'm basically done for the night. Monthlies just don't work. Sorry. Oklahoma, 1% a week versus 1% a month. FL Hockey, dude, how are you? PHM. John, let's try that tomorrow night. The Goonies, if you started tomorrow, what would you do? Jar, sometimes just depends on if you deep in the money. Okay. All right. Thank you for your insights. You're welcome. What else do we have? QCOM, we already did that one earlier. Big DH, Hitman Stalker, what's going on? Monte Hoople. Oh, Monte Hoople. Ooh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Monte Hoople. Okay. Tell us. Jacob, gotta like that one. PBR. Isn't that Petroleum Brasilia, something like that? Some Brazilian oil company. Same. He's live every Sunday through Thursday. Yay! Woohoo! Okay, so what else do we got? Thanks, James. Sorry, I meant Pfizer. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. APLD is how we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Walmart is my first dividend stock purchase. Mott the Hoople. Way to go. Why would you even use that name? All right. MSFT, we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Thank you for all your help. You got it. MU. Ooh, Micron. Love that one. 67. Sigmund Media. Oh, Zuli. Dividends good for the whales. Molly, thank you. Not 100% sure what you mean by that, Molly, but okay. Thank you for what you're doing, sir. You sell callus and buy cheaper stocks. If I understand, right? I am new here. You sell calls. Okay, yep. It's awesome. I've been trading with this strategy for 2 weeks and I'm up 8%. Cool beans, Ken. Thank you, everyone. Special thanks to you, sir, and your valuable time for all of us. Have a good time. Thanksgiving, blah, blah. I'll be back tomorrow night. AVGO, tomorrow night, everyone. We're past 11 o'clock. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. I'm done with you. You're done with me. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Oh, wow. Only one person here? Just me? Okay. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Okay. Done here. Good evening. Good evening. There you go. You're done. All right. So you guys have a great night over here. We will catch you again tomorrow. And over here, good.